Always great to have our next guest on the show, Dr. Robin L. Smith. I can't even call her a guest anymore, George.
No, she's family.
She's our friend. Hey, Dr. Robin, how you doing?
Hey there. I like being family and friend and not guest anymore.
I need you to help me out with something.
Tell me.
How do you end up divorced less than a year after getting married? How does that happen?
Well, it really means that how we prepared for marriage was off. That's how it happens, and it's actually becoming more and more common that people who get married are getting divorced not after 5 years or 25 years, but after a few months. And part of what happens is you wake up inside this committed covenant and you realize this isn't what I thought. Now,
how about you don't meet the real person until after marriage?
Well, because of that, I've talked about it before on the show with you, which is that extreme makeover, that playing pretend.
Yeah.
That playing dress up, like we did as kids. You went and put your father's shoes on or your mother's dress, and well, all of a sudden you realize this isn't who I thought. Or, in fairness, sometimes a person is so desperate to get married, we will ignore stuff. I mean, things that are, I call them neon red fire engine flags. I mean, up in your face.
Yeah.
And just, I'm going to it's not so bad, or it bothers me, but maybe this is to help me grow. I mean, I've said that in my own life. I have twisted some things, into a soft Philadelphia pretzel that I look back on, and I'm thinking, I know I'm creative, but nobody ought to be able to do some of the things I've done.
I know, and the title of your book is so important for us to get into today, Lies at the Altar. I told this to George, I don't think we're telling each other the truth about what marriage is all about. So we enter into it almost in a fantasy world from Jump Street. And why don't we just tell people straight up, marriage is hard. I wish people would be more honest, Dr. Robin L. Smith, about what marriage is. The way I see relationships in marriage, for me, even though I'm not married, I was married, and I had a great marriage, is that I want somebody to share all those good things with. And if those challenges do come, I want to know that that person is going to be there through the challenges. But I'm not looking for them to make me happy. I'm not looking for them to make me whole. This whole idea of I'm a half a person, I need a person to make me whole. That's scary.
It is very scary, and it's a burden.
It's a
burden, and it's also a way that we set ourselves or our partners up for failure, because nobody can make us whole except ourselves. And so that burden of saying to somebody, that movie that was out where Jack Nicholson said, you make me want to be a better man, and then Tom Cruise in that other movie said, you complete me. And so people suck that stuff up like a Slurpee. I mean, really, as if, that's what I want, that's what I'm chasing. And so we're chasing a fantasy that does not exist.
I love that. See, that's the kind of stuff we need people to hear. If they're going to be married, they need to understand it's not going to be great all the time, because, as you said, they get into marriages, and that feeling of euphoria that they get when they're dating, they're like, oh, man, I want to bottle this and have this forever.
Right.
Why doesn't that happen, Dr. Robin?
Well, it doesn't happen because it's called growing up. I mean, it's kind of like, the seasons, it's like saying, well, I want it to be summer all the time, and I'm from the East Coast. I don't like the cold, but part of living on the East Coast is the seasons have to change. And so if they don't change, then really I'm dying. Our skin, we don't know this, our skin sheds all the time. Why? Because the dead skin comes off so that new skin can show up. So to be in a relationship that is always like it used to be, even when it feels like it was so good that old way, would mean that it was dead and dying.
Thank you so much.
The other thing I just want to say is this issue about why people want things to be a certain way and they want them to be perfect is often because they're trying to correct something from their past that they want their current partner to remove and almost be God and remake a past that was painful into something perfect, and that absolutely is a setup for failure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Robin L. Smith. The name of the book is called Lies at the Altar. What a perfect title. The Truth About Great Marriages. Thank you, Dr. Robin. Looking forward to having you on again.
It's my honor.
Just excellent job. Love having her on the show, man. Check out the book when you get a chance. Come back with more of your calls, and, Memorial Day weekend is coming up. Guess where we're going to be? We're going to be broadcasting live from South Beach, man. It's called Urban Beach Week. And let me tell you, it is going to be it'll be going down on South Beach. That's all I'm saying.